Just to win the heart of my senior, my good brother's sister would pester me in various ways every day, and in order to prevent other women from getting close to me, she even announced in front of other classmates that I was her boyfriend. I believe everyone has heard a saying that the person who likes to bully you actually likes you. This contrast is really great, but I don't think so. I still like to be gentle to myself. On this day, when I got home from school, I just walked to the door and heard loud music coming from the room. I opened the door and saw that, as expected, the cutie Caillou was lying on my bed. Xiao Hanada Caillou is the younger sister of my only good friend. Don't look at her pure and cute appearance. She looked at me with some complaints. Senior, you are so annoying. Remember to knock before entering the room, but this is not my room, and it will disturb the neighbors if it is so loud. Is the pair of headphones on your neck a decoration? After hearing what I said, Caillou looked at me with a kingly look on her face. Senior, do you want to know so much? The reason behind this is as deep as entering the hidden strategy route of the beautiful girl game, or do you really want to conquer me? When Caillou wanted to continue talking, I directly rejected her. She didn't need me and had no interest in seeing me at all. Caillou is so heartless. She looks helpless. You are worthy of being a senior. But what if you come in when I am changing clothes? While speaking, she stepped back in fear. Could this be your purpose? Mr. Police, are there bad guys here? I didn't care when she heard her say that. It's just what I want. Just call the police. You are trespassing. Seeing my ruthless reaction, Caillou lay helplessly on my bed and said that I was trespassing. Senior, you are too polite. Because it is so big, I am too shy to give orders. It's hateful. All this is because she took the spare key of my house, and she even stuffed the spare key there. This spare key is because I live alone outside. Just in case, I entrusted it to my good brother who lives next door. But why is it in your hand? Seeing me look so angry, Caillou's attitude is still very arrogant. Senior, don't pretend to be angry. In fact, I know everything. Anyway, after chasing me away, you will definitely bury your face in the bed where I have lain and enjoy my taste with big mouthfuls, right? I am right. When the senior saw her teasing herself like this, I immediately wanted to take back my key. Enough to buy a key. Listen to me. She stuffed the key into her chest directly. I really can't do anything to you. As long as you take it yourself, I will return it to you. While speaking, she puffed out her chest. This hateful little brat, I will remember it. At the same time, my changes suddenly became smaller. The next day in class, I was still very ordinary as usual. I had no obvious shortcomings and no outstanding abilities. I was average among averages, but the only difference between such an ordinary me and others was that my sense of existence was too low. Thanks to this, I was not paid special attention by anyone, nor did I suffer from the disgust of anyone. For me, this is the happiest thing. Although my sense of existence is low, I am not without friends. This yawning handsome guy is my only best friend, Hanada Ima. That's right, Ima and Caillou are actually brother and sister. The brother is so gentle and considerate, but the sister is that kind of person. By the way, I heard that my sister ran to your place again yesterday. No matter how many times I change the person who hides the key, she will find it out. I'm really sorry, but to be honest, I think Caillou likes you. Hearing her say this, I showed a disgusted expression from the bottom of my heart. This is impossible for me. This guy who has no characteristics must be deliberately making fun of me. At the same time, a boy from the same class rushed over with an excited look on his face. Daxon has a super cute junior girl looking for you. I leaned out of the door and it was Caillou. The little cutie walked me over. Caillou greeted me happily. Hello, Senior Daxon. Why are you here listening to me asking this? Caillou didn't hide anything, because I wanted to go back with my senior. Here she comes again. This woman is acting weird again. This guy always puts on a polite, dignified, smart and pure appearance in front of everyone in school, but as long as she is alone with me, she will reveal her little devil-like nature. Although I really want to reject her, if I continue to entangle with her here, my peaceful campus life will be shattered. There is no way. I'd better agree to her first. You wait here and I'll call your brother, by the way. Caillou got anxious when she heard me say to call brother. There's no need to call brother. I just want to go home with my senior. Although I know her nature, I still can't help but be moved when facing such a cute Caillou. Don't talk to me in this voice. Seeing that I still don't agree, Caillou actually in front of everyone, she pulled my clothes pitifully. Senior, this is too much. After being pulled by the cute Caillou in public, she looked at me pitifully. Senior, this is too much. Aren't we dating? I was stunned when she heard her say that. What dating? When I realized what was going on, she started to cry again. You loved me so passionately yesterday, but you were just playing around? Seeing this, my classmates secretly talked about me behind my back. I wasn't a scumbag. Seeing the situation getting out of control, I directly pulled Caillou aside and said, are you trying to commit some new type of fraud? After hearing what I said, Caillou looked at me with a smile on her face. No, senior, don't you think the relationship between us is like a relationship? And didn't you say yesterday that you would be very troubled if you had a girlfriend? Time goes back to yesterday. My uncle suddenly called me and told me that the game I made is very success. However, if you want to agree to continue investing, you must meet several of his conditions. The first one is that you must not have a girlfriend. What's the condition of not having a girlfriend? At the same time, the cute Caillou was standing behind me with a smirk on her face. Before I could react, she hugged me directly. What is the senior doing? Because the motivation was too big, The uncle on the other end of the phone was shocked. Is there anyone else there? It's over. Only then did I agree that the uncle cannot have a girlfriend. Now he is hugged by his good brother's sister. If he is discovered, Caillou, who is hugging me, seems to have discovered something. I said to me, Senior, can't you be exposed when you are with girls? It's like we are playing the Minotaur game, it's really exciting. While talking, he kept rubbing against me. Because it concerns my future, I finally pushed him away. That's why let me be your girlfriend. As long as you have a beautiful girl like me as your girlfriend, you don't have to worry about other girls being attracted to you. My face became very solemn when I heard him say that. Although I don't know how you want to play tricks on me, I am betting my future on it. Please don't bother me. After all, the first requirement of my uncle for sponsoring me was that I couldn't have a girlfriend. I can't let this guy's unreasonable behavior go to waste. Just when I was about to leave, Caillou suddenly hugged me from behind. Senior, you are really stupid. I have said it so bluntly, why can't you notice it? I am so close to you, but you never look me in the eye. So please, don't leave me. As he spoke, his voice was a little tearful. Could he be serious? I have never heard Caillou cry so sadly. But just when I was moved and wanted to comfort him, his tone suddenly changed. Of course I was lying to you. Are you looking forward to it? In fact, I have long wanted to try a sincere confession scene. How does it feel? Seeing that I was reluctant to answer, the cute Caillou's attitude gradually became arrogant. No way, is she so shy that she can't even speak? Senior, she is really too cute. After being treated like this, I can't control the anger in my heart. You stinky cat, I will never believe what you say again. Although I was teased, Caillou said to herself that night she ran to my room to play because the uncle I was going to meet later was the chairman of an entertainment company, so I was going to the bathroom first to relieve some stress. Maybe I was too nervous and didn't notice the warning sign at the door. Just when I opened the door, a familiar white-haired beautiful girl was actually preparing to go to the bathroom. Because she came to my room once to use the bathroom. I accidentally ran into a very cute beautiful girl in the bathroom. I couldn't help but freeze in place. I thought the matter was over, but what was unexpected was that this girl actually knew the uncle. After learning what had just happened between us, the uncle smiled gloatingly. It was so pleasant. I didn't expect that the first meeting would be a lucky pervert incident. You are really lucky. Seeing them get along so well, I can't help but be curious about that President Yu Minomori. May I ask if she was here? After hearing me ask, the uncle realized it. Oh, why don't I remember it? You used to play together when you were young. You often played together. Could it be that this girl is really white? Tsukinomori Mishiro is my uncle's daughter and my cousin. About 10 years ago, we played together almost every day. At that time, she loved to stick to me. I didn't expect that she would become so beautiful now. When I told her that she was beautiful, Mishiro beside her was also shy. But why is Mishiro here? Aren't we here to discuss work? When I said that, Uncle looked at me with deep emotion. I can let all your game production team come to my company to work, but as a condition of the employment, I hope you can pretend to be Mishiro's boyfriend until graduation. Facing Uncle's sudden request, Mishiro and I were both confused. Pretending to be a boyfriend can also be considered a condition. Before I could say anything, Mishiro beside me was not happy. Dad, are you crazy? Why'd I have to accept this kind of discussion? When Mishiro disagreed, Uncle became anxious instantly. You can't be willful anymore. Satisfy you. I have been very uneasy since you transferred from a prestigious girls' high school to a coeducational public high school. In order to prevent those stinky men from getting close to me, what's wrong with arranging a personal bodyguard for you? When I heard Uncle say that, I realized, please wait a moment. Is Mishiro going to transfer to our school? Yes, the formalities have been completed. Starting tomorrow, you will be classmates. I was a little surprised to hear what the uncle said. Why did you suddenly transfer? I remember that Mishiro's previous school was a famous school among famous schools. Could it be that something happened? But when the uncle was about to tell me the reason, Mishiro suddenly became excited. Don't say it. Just don't tell Xiao Ming about that matter. The uncle felt sad to see his daughter begging for help. Since we have to ask for help, we must explain our situation clearly. After hearing what her father said, Mishiro lowered her head silently. Seeing that Mishiro acquiesced, the uncle began to tell me the reason for the matter. In fact, Mishiro has not been to school once since she entered high school. Not going to school, could it be that she doesn't want to go to school? After hearing what I said, the uncle hesitated for a moment. If you insist, it's like that, but when he was about to tell me what happened specifically, I refused. He didn't need a reason, he didn't want to go to school because of something. Now he wants to make a change, so he transferred, right? This information is enough. If he continues, it will just be pure gossip. After hearing what I said, Mishiro looked touched. My uncle was also very surprised. It's best if you can understand. In that case, I will accept your conditions and pretend to be Mishiro's boyfriend. After hearing what I said, Mishiro's little face instantly changed. After a long ideological struggle, he finally agreed. If we were just pretending to be boyfriend and girlfriend, I could accept it, but it doesn't mean that I forgive you, you toilet pervert. While speaking, he directly slapped my hand away. The uncle next to me saw that I looked like we were in love and his face was also warm. I was relieved to see that you two were getting along so well. I thought the matter would end here, but the next second, the uncle's face suddenly became serious. After all, you are just a pretend boyfriend. If you really dare to do something to Mishiro, you know the consequences. In this way, I successfully avoided 10 years of detours. It just accidentally contradicted me. The usually cold and ruthless head teacher actually knelt down on the spot, and in order to make me forgive herself, she even lay on the ground and acted like a rogue. After successfully agreeing to my uncle to pretend to be Genbai's boyfriend, Genbai transferred to our class early the next morning. Hello everyone, my name is Yu Jusin Genbai. I transferred to this class from today. I thought her self-introduction was over, but the next second she suddenly looked at me shyly. Actually, Daxing Mingchao is my boyfriend. After learning that such a beautiful girl is actually my girlfriend, everyone looked at me at the same time. Is it true? It's too wasteful for such a beautiful person to accompany Daxing? By the way, is there a person named Daxing in our class? Although it's too much, I promised my uncle after all, so it's better to keep a low profile here. At the same time, a brave boy suddenly asked, "Excuse me, classmate Genbai, where did you meet Daxing for the first time?" Hearing him ask this, Genbai acted very shy and forgot, "Please don't ask me again." After the self-introduction, the cute Genbai sat next to me. I wanted to encourage her, but she looked at me like a piece of trash. "Don't talk to me, you perverted toilet demon." Seeing her vicious look, I couldn't help but complain to her, "Are you really going to pretend to be my girlfriend?" Hearing what I said, Genbai looked disdainful. "Even if we pretend to be boyfriend and girlfriend, we don't need a relationship, okay? Can you please stop looking at me?" While talking, she took out a box of tomato juice from her bag and started drinking it. Seeing her drinking tomato juice with a happy face, her and the little cutie's figures unconsciously appeared in my mind. Suddenly, my good brother behind me patted my shoulder and said, "Xiao Ming, you actually have a girlfriend." This is really surprising. Seeing that my good brother misunderstood me, I hurriedly explained, "I'm sorry, aunt. This matter is a long story. To put it simply, Genbai and I are not in that kind of relationship." When I heard what I said, my aunt immediately noticed me. Could it be related to that incident? I couldn't help but understand when she said that. My good brother is really sharp. My good brother knows about the deal between me and President Yu Jusin, because he is the number 2 person in my game team. Seeing that I can't hide it from him anymore, I simply told him the general situation. After learning about my experience, my aunt just smiled and said, "Xiao Ming, you are just like the male lead in a romantic comedy." At the same time, the originally lively class suddenly became quiet. With the sound of high heels, the head teacher, Teacher Ying, stood directly on the podium. "It seems that you still have some self-knowledge. Just now, I thought there were a group of monkeys inside." Now the class has started. Facing Teacher Ying's strong aura, the students were very nervous. Our head teacher and math teacher, Sister Ying, because of her overly strict teaching methods and unimaginable reading tongue, the students affectionately called her a certain reader, and any student who dared to question her teaching methods would be scolded. People who can't do this are not even as good as garbage, but I am not afraid of her at all. I soon survived to get out of class. When the students thought they were relieved, Teacher Ying suddenly looked at us. The Qing army came to the student guidance room during lunch break. Hearing her say this, I subconsciously returned to the group. "May I ask, what do you want to talk to me about?" Seeing that I dared to question myself, Teacher Ying glared at me fiercely. "Regarding the topic, do you understand what I said?" "So that's what I know." After the photographer left, the classmates looked at me with sympathy. "Da Qing, what did you do? Do you know that the face of the last time you went to the student guidance room was fierce and insulting? You only stayed in there for an hour and your eyes became clear. And the queen actually asked you to have a low-key conversation there alone. What did you do?" Facing everyone's doubts, I was not panicked at all. I guess I would be sentenced to death. Hearing what I said, even my good brothers were not in a hurry to worry about me. In this way, I walked into the student guidance room in the eyes of everyone's admiration. But what they didn't expect was that the photographer, who was called the queen by everyone, actually knelt in front of me at this moment. "Mingchao, I am very sorry.